That's Dave. There'll be a lot of people coming in. It's Mr. Andrej coming in. You can introduce yourselves.
I'm Dave Noter. I'm a software developer, and I run the Florida.net and Coders Cafe.
Nice. Larry.
Oh, sorry. I
Andre.
jumped in. Yeah. Nice to see all of you. Dave, Damien, the two of you I know. Nice to meet the rest of you. So I used to be a software engineer before I put on my metaphorical suit and wore that for a number of years. And talked to Damien the other day. He told me about the topic of this talk today, and I was quite interested to see it in action. So here I am.
Thank you. So you want to talk to us next?
Hi, I'm completely new. Hello, I live in Delray Beach. I'm a student of web development bootcamp in Miami right now, and pretty much it's my first meetup. So
welcome. Hi. Thank you very much. Like in South Florida or the meetup ever?
Meetup ever.
Nice. Even better. You couldn't have chosen a better one.
That's good. Thank you.
Michelle, we normally get together once a month. There's other events that I would highly suggest. One is Dave's, which is the FLA.net.
Okay.
And Dave, that's at FLA.net.com. Is that right? Yeah. So FLA.dot.
Or on Meetup, FLA.dot.net. We also have Microsoft Cloud South Florida user group on Meetup as well.
And also he has on that website, on his personal website, the FLA.dot.net.com, has a lot of different events that are going on in South Florida. Usually they're not definitely virtual events. They're a lot funner. And you can see a lot more people, ask a lot more questions. But here, feel free everybody should feel free to be themselves. I'm going to move my window here so I don't look like I'm, because you guys used to be over here. Now you guys are here, so I'll talk to you guys more better that way.
I'm getting a little dizzy.
Exactly. You can see me doing this and all that. So.
At the beginning, it's just hard, like don't really know what to ask or, I'm working on a JavaScript MERN final project for my bootcamp right now. So
excellent.
Creating an app.
Which bootcamp was that? Was that
Iron Hack?
Iron Hack is amazing. I think you're going to find a lot of people that are also like you, graduated from Iron Hack here.
Oh, nice. Okay, great. Yeah. It's always encouraging.
Yes, and it's good. It's a good place.
Thank you.
There's a lot of, they had an interview, Iron Hack, Palm Beach Tech, which is the one we have to thank for. I ran out of my license right now with Zoom. So we went ahead and Palm Beach Tech helped us with organizing this. So thank you to them. And anyways, they'll be there. Check them out, and you can see what's going on there. So Dave reminds us that if you guys see me at the very bottom of this list of wonderful people you're seeing is the chat button. If you click on that chat button, you'll be able to see what he's posted in there. In this case, that has been the answer to your question, which is a couple of different meetup groups. Also, feel free to choose that and then choose someone in specific. You want to talk to Dave specific, you want to talk to Larry specific. I'll be kind of unavailable because I'll be doing the presentation. But normally, if you'd want to chat with me, you can choose me, and it's a private message only between me and you. Those private messages get erased at the very end of this meetup. So do write down if you wanted to. Someone has contacted you and say, here's a great location for the next space or a fantastic job. Make sure to copy and paste it and save it somewhere else, just to remind you guys. So normally we like I said, we could have wait a couple of minutes, about 15 minutes, while everybody gets here and chatted. I just realized my name is listed wrong. Apparently, I'm having a hard time today figuring out what my name is. So let me correct
it's
that.
Cinco de Mayo. What do you want?
Cinco de Mayo. So I'm the Mineso. That's amazing.
Funny.
Or did you change that, Dave? Is that you? Did you change it? You did it. I knew it.
somebody hacked you.
I think so. I think so. Jeremy might be the one that hacked. Hey, Jeremy. How are
That's
you?
exactly what happened.
I thought so. Well, that reminds me, I better make one of you guys the co-organizers, just in case I have to step away, which is exactly what I am going to have to do right now. So you guys talk among yourselves, since I'm going to do the presentation. I'm going to do the daily ritual as a presenter, and they go walk outside and do that while screaming, ah, just get ready for this presentation. You guys talk among yourselves. I'll be right back.
Yeah,
I don't know what to do.
Well, we were introducing each other. Like Larry, what's your story? I see you have model planes behind you.
Well, I'm a freelance full stack developer. I went freelance about 5 years ago and have been overworked since. Recently had a little bit of time and I'm craving community. So I'm just trying to reach out and talk to other devs and just connect, really.
Cool.
So what's your next meetup talk about? We're always looking for speakers.
Well, you know, I have like this huge list of blog articles, ideas. As soon as I start to dive into one, I'll be happy to talk about it. But JavaScript is relatively new to me. So as long as the group is accepting of novices in the front end talking about it, I can give it a shot.
Absolutely. And in fact, we encourage it, right? The one thing that gets missed out on a lot of talks is the process of learning. Like I'm always presenting this. I've been a developer for the past 15 years. So when I'm learning something new and when I'm trying to pick up a new framework, I try to capture my thoughts then and talk about it when I'm learning it. So that way I can focus on the areas that are particularly frustrating to me and point that out to everybody, and maybe that'll help someone else. So by all means, don't be an expert in something. You know, come out and talk about what you're excited about and why you're excited about it, and build hype around that. If you have more area of expertise and you want to talk about that item as well, feel free. So we have the gamut of speakers, everybody from bootcamp devs that have just recently graduated to, you know, Damien and myself and other, you know, senior developers out there who've been in the game for 15 plus years. So absolutely.
Well, so while I have your ear then, it's not specifically a JavaScript subject, but I started diving into GitHub Actions for continuous deployment. Is that something that this group would want to hear about?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So
this has been a conversation that I've seen in the Slack channel pretty regularly. So absolutely, this is the right area for that.
All right. Well, as soon as I have a working CD, I'll reach out to you. Or
yeah,
to
Damien or myself.
You can send it by CD, by USB, by email, whatever you'd like to send over.
And no pressure, but you have until next month.
Hey, quick question while I also have your ear. How's the audio on this?
You sound good.
Good.
Okay, thank you.
Everybody sounds great. I haven't heard anybody that sounds too loud or too soft.
Who's next? Michelle, hi. You seem like a new face. You haven't been around here before. Is this your first time?
Yes. Hi.
Welcome.
I'm from a boot camp, graduating next week, but haven't really been around meetings, meetups, you know, much. So time to start. So
congratulations.
Thank you.
What boot camp did you go to?
Iron Hack in Miami.
Iron Hack? How'd you like it?
It was good. Well, I have nothing to compare it to, so just one. Yeah, complete career changer. So still kind of, you know, fresh and.
What were you doing beforehand?
I was a flower designer, so nothing computer related. So It's hard work. It takes time.
All right. Is there a reason for the switch?
I kind of wanted a career, not a job, I suppose.
That works.
You know, something what you can continuously do for the future, and something within, not something what's just a job, you know.
Very cool. Well, This is both a rewarding and frustrating career.
Oh yeah, I know.
It's very
Finding out.
rewarding.
Yeah.
Very rewarding once you figure that out. But there are some times where it's why am I doing this?
We'll
And then
see.
I figure it out and be like, oh, this is why I'm doing this. This feeling of, you know, completing
it's
something
like
and building
6
something
months
hard.
for me now, so it's kind of like small victories when I can debug something or something's working, you know. That's
Yep.
nice. So yeah, I'm looking for community definitely too. Kind of. It's not really that Miami's far, so all my schoolmates are mostly down there, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I need to kind of just reach out to people around here and.
Absolutely. So
Had a
I'm
good
going
friend.
to extend the invitation to you to come out and talk as well. One of the best ways to learn something is to teach it, right? So if you're diving into something that you're relatively new in and you're excited about it, come out and talk about it. That's going to do two things, right? I'm a big proponent in if you can't explain something, then you don't understand it. So it's a great way to learn. One of the reasons why I do a lot of these meetups is because I want to get better at something and I want to explain it to and get people excited about that. So if you're learning React, for example, and you're learning a new aspect of it, come talk about that and talk about your journey. That's a very important part that a lot of these you'd be surprised at how big the community is here that are junior developers or boot camp developers like yourself. So they're green and they're new to the industry. So when we talk about high level stuff, Damien and myself we try to make it to where it's accessible to everybody, but there are just some topics that are very advanced. So having a variety of speakers, both on the the beginner side and the advanced side, is super helpful. So consider that, please. If you want to learn something, consider teaching. And these talks are super easy. There's no pressure. And this goes to everybody who's listening and who I can't see and is shaking their head that they're not going to do this. There's absolutely no pressure. This is whatever you want, when you want to do this, about whatever topic you want. The reason we chose JavaScript as the platform instead of some specific platform like React or Vue or something is so that way it can be open. We've had people come in and talk about game development and node development and Adreno development. So it's the gamut. It's really whatever you want to talk about and what you're passionate about.
This topic today sounded really interesting because I'm working on my final project, which is the e-commerce app, and this is perfect. This little chat would probably
palmbeachtech.org/Slack. The link will be in the chat somewhere sometime soon. But there's a developers channel that is very active. Damien and myself are on there posting GIFs a lot of the times and a lot of helpful hints. And if you're stuck on something, feel free to post it there. I guarantee you there's someone who's willing to help out in the area of expertise, willing to help out. And on the flip side, if there's someone posts a question and that you might be able to answer, give a shot at trying to answer that. That's another way to help accelerate growth in that context.
Thank you.
So Damien just put it in there for the Slack channel. When you sign up, be sure to check out the developers channel, but also check out the general and the events. If you're interested in any of these things that are going on, Palm Beach Tech is a good resource for figuring out what's going on around the Palm Beach County.
The gig's hiring too.
Yep, gigs is hiring. That's another good one. They've recently formatted it. They had it all in one category. So you can upload your resume, and Palm Beach Tech has a membership group of companies that are always looking to hire. So if you have your resume up there, they pull from that resume bank, and that used to fill into the one gigs, and then clients or companies who post jobs go into the same bank. So those have been separated. Talent looking and gigs hiring are two separate channels now.
Actually, I tried that today, and Michelle, it was super easy. Filled in my information, and it was then sent out to a lot of the companies who have said that they were looking forward to hire in the.
Oh gosh, I'm giving myself a little more time after graduating to
absolutely, it's perfectly
get my
fine.
GitHub together.
It's a great idea. I always found that. I mean, this is a conversation we have. You know, we'll start in a couple of minutes. Well, it's at 6:45, but let's talk a little bit about this. I've always, I mean, I'm so old that resumes and Word documents and printed versions is what I've had. But, you know, I have a pretty good GitHub, and it was just out of curiosity in these meetups that I built it up and I added things to it. And then, you know, following Jeremy, the gentleman just talked, and seeing what the project he had, and contributing to those projects instantly, allowed my GitHub to grow. But does everybody feel that in an interview that is something you want to bring up, or will it help? Will it deter? What is everybody's opinion on that?
All right, I'll
Everybody
chime in.
Go ahead.
Just look at code, because that's what it boils down to.
Okay.
Be able to see their commits. But as someone who has spent most of their development time working for commercial companies, I can't really show a lot of that. And there's a lot of really dedicated developers that are really smart and just have amazing GitHub profiles. But I try to balance my life a little bit more. I don't spend all my waking time developing, so it's difficult to try to do all my work that I get paid for, and then in addition, keep coding. I have a family and such. So it's not a deal breaker if I was going to hire somebody and they don't have a lot of code on GitHub. If they want to talk about code, if they want to bring in some code during an interview, if they can show me something, if as long as there's something to see, it doesn't necessarily need to be public, but having that code out there publicly available, where if I'm just looking at the resume, I see a quick GitHub username and I can just look at it very quickly, that makes it easier to hire.
Makes sense. I've also seen a lot of the senior developers, Larry, that what they do is we've always solved a particular problem that's just like the same thing over and over and over again. So we need that wheel, right? So why reinvent it? So I've realized how to solve it. I've then went and resolved it from home and then pushed that to Git, allowing me to pull that at the next job or the next opportunity, the next hackathon, or when my friend says, listen, how do you log in through OAuth and through Twitter? And I'm like, I got that code like that. Let me look over here. And we'll be doing some of that today here. So that's another use of that.
Can I just add one more thing? I wouldn't wait. There's nothing that says that you can't reapply for a job later.
I just don't want to
start trying now. You could.
I feel like I don't want to lose the chance with these people if I embarrass myself first time, when I'm gonna be like completely green. So it's better to just go a little more prepared. I feel like just.
The problem with that is perfection's the enemy of done.
Yeah.
Yeah, perfection's the enemy of done. If you wait till you're ready, you're never going to be ready. And the whole point is to get interview practice and be better, like learn what you don't know at the moment, right? So
they know you're new, so they know you're new.
Yeah.
So
if they're willing to hire a new person, then they even considering, then they know what they're getting themselves into, right?
Well, as a hiring manager, if I'm looking for a junior developer, especially out of a boot camp, I'm expecting to have to train. I'm willing to train. That's the whole point to me hiring for that role. If I'm hiring for a mid-level to a senior to an architect level, there's different interview process that I go through, and I'm expecting not to have to hold their hand that much, right? So this mentality of like you need to hit the ground running and be at my level is not the case. That's a false sense of insecurity, right? Like you don't have to perform at my level. I expect that there's going to be a ramp up time and some training time, and the tasks that you're going to get are going to reflect that. I'm not going to give a junior developer some senior level tasks. What that means to company is going to vary, but we understand. So get the interview practice, and if you don't get the first one, learn how you did
Of course.
in that one and grow from the for the future ones. That's all you need to do.
Thank you, guys. Very encouraging. Thanks.
And as a person who's failed several times in job interviews, let me tell you that the failure of job interview is not at all failure. It is simply a way to get the next questions. The next interview will have the same questions. Everybody seems to ask the same questions. So if you didn't feel comfortable with the answer you gave because you had to think about it too long, like myself, or because of the fact that you gave the wrong answer after you looked it up on Google. Remember that the next time there will be the exact same interview and the same questions often enough. So this is simply an opportunity for you to fail early, and so therefore, which is an adage in computer programming, and be able to correct at the beginning instead of having to worry about it. So the worst thing that could happen in your career is that you get hired on that first interview, because you won't harness those skills of interviewing, which you will need no matter what. I mean, this, talking to myself, I was let go from a big, huge company that has a lot of money, and they just simply decided to cut losses and all that. Magic Leap a couple of weeks ago let go of people. So, you could have been a Magic Leap for 10, 15 years. And so, it's good to have those interview skills. Didn't mean to bring everybody down. All right.
So on that note, if anybody knows a company, Damien's in the market.
Thank you. That's not what I was trying to bring up, but thank you. I appreciate that.
Shameless plug. Right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Absolutely. So, like I said, if you need me, you can't afford me, right? Like the saying goes. Let me see. Okay, perfect. Okay. So on that note, is anybody else want to say anything, or can I present? Let's do this presentation. Thank you. Appreciate that. All right. So let's do a little presentation here. I'm going to move you guys out of here. You guys didn't see it. That was it. So my name is Damien Montero. We are BocaJS. Thank you for very much for coming. I do use that word correctly, as in we are, because it wouldn't be a lot of fun if it was just me looking and talking to you guys. So BocaJS is here for you guys. I love what Jeremy says and talks about, which is make sure he's one of the co-organizers. I'm one of the other co-organizer. Do let us know, and I'll have a slide for that. If you do want to present, it is a fantastic way to build up those skills, build up the presentation skills that you will use for the rest of your life. And whether you're great at that or bad at that, you guys can tell me which one of those I am. You'll be able to need it for a lot of different things. So do feel that you should do it. We'll be talking about, cheating a little bit here. That was the last slide. We'll be talking a little bit about a couple of things: Visual Studio Share and Visual Studio Code. And I don't have a slide specifically for them, but I'll explain them with the code that we'll be doing here. Let me change the profile here. You guys don't see it, but you'll know what I'm talking about in just one second. My name is Damien Montero. I've been working for 20 years. I used to be a tech lead at JM Family, which is essentially Toyota. If you bought a Toyota, you bought it using my software. I love JavaScript. I love servers, love IT, and I am one of the two co-organizers for BocaJS. Thank you, Jeremy. Thank you for being here and being the other one. We're going to go to this website in just a minute, so you can open it right now. It is how we're going to be able to see me in the future, should you ever need to find information about it. That link that you see at the very bottom says "Come join us" will lead you to the page that we're looking to go right now, which we'll jump and we'll go through the work. Normally, it would be me here looking at you guys and presenting. In this case, it's going to be a little bit more than that. You're going to be sort of partially connected with what I'm doing here. All right. What I'm talking about a little bit earlier was the fact that you can see this presentation as well as all the other ones that have happened in this and other organizations like Dave's, like Palm Beach JS, in the youtube.com/BocaJS. If you go to youtube.com/BocaJS/live, you can actually see us live, but don't watch it here. Like we talked a little bit earlier, usually I feel like the gentleman on the right-hand side. That is how you spell my name, by the way. And it is usually me blabbing and you guys listening. Feel free at any moment to interrupt, to talk. This is not an interruption, pardon me. It's contributing to what you have here. I'm here. We're here as a group. So I definitely, especially in this one, there will be a lot of interaction because you'll be able to look at some of the code and touch you'll see the computer that I'm working on. Even though we can't see each other, this will be the closest thing, and I thought the most appropriate for this presentations. All right, but we're here to see these two, Visual Studio Code and Visual Studio Codespace, which we used to be Visual Studio Online. So like I mentioned before, if you guys want to join me and go to, and you'll need to do this so that you can see what's going on, BocaJS.org. Can you guys all open that website? I will go ahead and paste it in the chat. Let me go ahead and do that. Where is the chat? Chat is here. All right. On with the show. I like that. Very good. So if you guys do me a favor and just go ahead, still should be sharing that same screen and go to BocaJS.org. If you click on that little link, you will get to the meetup page, which is today's meetup page. Remember that BocaJS.org always gets you to today's, as in the next meetup page. In this case, it's what's going on today. I'm going to talk a little bit about this, but what we're looking at here is these three little links down here. Okay? Now, let's get to what we're going to talk about. The first thing I want to show you guys is something called Visual Studio Codespaces. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that. It used to be called Visual Studio Online, and that was the better name in my opinion. What does it solve? What is it? More importantly, what does it solve? My wife just had trouble with her computer, and she's moving to a new one. So we bought her a brand new computer. And this is the problem we've had with, we are going to hire a new developer, or when you are at your grandma's house. What you do is you all of a sudden have to go and set your environment up, install all the software. Visual Studio used to take a minimum of 5 hours to install. Things have changed, but it is still a lot of process. And Microsoft realized that there was maybe a solution. And we'll see that together live. It is essentially Visual Studio, but on the website. And you see what I'm talking right now. If you go ahead and click on that link, what you'll see is something that looks like this on your computer. Now, you might be asked to sign up to Azure. I have already signed up to Azure. I've already logged in. So you can skip this part, because I'll show you a way in a minute that you'll see it on your computer and you'll interact with what I'm doing live. When we talk about Google Visual Studio Share. But right now, we're just code-based. I'm going to click on it, and think of it like setting up a computer, what I would do at the beginning whenever I joined the computer. So I'm going to go JS computer. Okay? Now, just you a little bit, but what I'm doing right now, and again, interrupt me if you have any questions, is I'm going to do a little bit extra beyond that. If you notice, I'm getting asked questions like, what kind of computer do you want? Okay? And I'm choosing one that's okay for me, and I'm going to continue on there. Something I'm going to mention a little bit earlier, but you should just be aware of, suspend after how many minutes? This is important, but we'll talk about it a little bit earlier. Of course, we get an error. I got a little bit of error earlier this morning, and if we continue doing that, I will try what I had to try over there on the past. Let's go ahead and try that. This is not something you might get. In fact, if you follow along with that link as far as the Visual Studio Code or online or code space, you might not get these errors. But I was getting this a little bit earlier. I think they've decided that since Damien's going to be presenting this and BocaJS is going to be presenting this, they're going to go ahead and throw us a little bone and make sure it's not easy for us to get on it. So you just believe me that on the other screen, I'm logging in to my Microsoft account. I'm actually doing nothing right now. It's sitting there looking at me and waiting for me. Just bear with me here. And I'm going to log in with my regular account that I happen to have in Azure. Again, this is just something for you just to be aware of. And the biggest showcase will be what happens right after I've logged in. I've actually just clicked on next, so bear with me here. Anybody remember my password? No? All right, that's okay, I do. Clicking on it. I've typed in my password. You guys didn't see it. That was not happening on another window. And now this window has been successfully logged in, and we will see what's going on in here. Let's do it one more time. I have one already here. That's what it surprised me at the other one. There must be something going on in here. So again, I could choose a computer, and I'm going to log into that computer right now. And right as you can see, it's suspended. So let me go cancel, and I'm going to go and click on this, my BocaJS 1, my computer. So you've probably figured out what's about to happen. What's essentially happening is there's a computer out there that's being turned on by Azure. It's being loaded with my software, and it's loaded with my settings that I've set up for Visual Studio Code in this example. So that means that if I'm sitting here on my brand new job, someone could have already set this up for me, and bam, as you can see, my project is there. Not only is my project already loaded, and you will see it in just a minute as the files come in here, but also you will see that I have all my settings the way I want them. It's in dark mode as what I've chosen. I didn't have the settings or the questions. I will just, make sure that this is getting an error here. Let's see. Hopefully we should be okay. Oh, okay. So let's refresh what's going on. I have a feeling, like I said, today I'm looking bad as I'm doing this, but I have a feeling that they're doing something, and so they're changing and all that. But again, what I'm solving and what would really be impressive, and you'll be impressed by the second part of this project even more, but what's really impressive to me is that I can instantly today continue my work that I was doing, in my boot camp, that I was doing at work, and I could do it on my computer that does not have the software installed, that does not have the permissions to the firewall or the VPN, everything installed. I simply logged in, and here it is. It's my full Visual Studio. And look carefully, it's inside of a browser. You can see that because it wasn't loading correctly, so I simply refreshed the page, and instantly the Visual Studio connected. Now it's telling me information about what my environment is happening right now, and some things will happen in here. I'm going to go ahead and log into that over here. But you can understand that it's asking me to log in. I'm just clicking on OK here, and I'm putting my information as far as logging in. The reason it's asking this information is because I haven't logged in on the computer I'm on right now. I'm in the incognito mode. So you can see it's accepted it. I'm being redirected, and the page will come up in a second. Success, and we will see it. You can close the window now. So in a minute, my connection to my project comes in there. My project is in here. Now this is interesting, and pretty much I could end the conversation here saying, okay, you guys can all understand that whenever that you may have run into this issue where you were somewhere where you wanted to go ahead and present and talk about working on this project, and you couldn't. But this is a project that's a little bit hard for me, and so I need a little bit of help. So let's talk about the second part of this presentation. It's not all over, it's all connected, which is I need help. And I need more than just Dave's or Jeremy's help. I need everybody's help. So I'm just going to check this in, and you guys are going to check it out. And no. I need the help right now. So let's do that. Down here, I'm going to, and you can do this the same if you have your own Visual Studio. And you have to install, it's installed automatically in Visual Studio, but you have to install it in Visual Studio Code. And it's called Live Share. And I've linked it in the BocaJS meetup event space. So if you have any questions about it. But it's already installed in this environment. Like I mentioned, this environment had my software, my extensions, my settings, all, and as you can see, on incognito mode. I could have done it on Dave's computer. I could have done it on Larry's computer. I could have done it on every one of your computers. And after I log in, instantly be able to access my information, access my project. But like I mentioned, I need your help. What could I do to do that? Again, I could ask you to come over to my desk, and you could pair program. You sit on my lap. You sit beside me. That's not a good idea. Pardon me. And then you would be able to go ahead and shove my keyboard over, and then you would type, and then I would say, no. I need to work on my files. And we have this thing called Visual Studio Share. And to showcase it more than anything else, I'm going to go ahead and share what we're about to see. That my computer's running a little bit slow, I think, right now. Oh boy, here it comes. Let me close this down here and see if it's having a little problems here. Okay, so let me close this down. And try one more time. Okay. I'm going to try it one more time, so bear with me here. It's the one more time, the 15th time that works, right? This, by the way, you can do right now once you've installed it. Dave did it at the beginning, and on any existing Visual Studio that you have already on your computer. So let me try that one more time on a different browser, see if that's a problem.
When you're saying Visual Studio, you're also including Visual Studio Code in that, right?
100%. So one more time, Visual Studio Code does require an extension, and that extension you can actually find under the extensions. In other words, if you click on the icon here, or you will be able to find it on the link for the BocaJS.org website. Visual Studio has it built in, and Visual Studio Code will have it built in the future. It requires a Microsoft account, which is free if you go to accounts.microsoft.com, even if you have your own Yahoo, Gmail, or work email address. If you have a Hotmail or Outlook email address, you have it built in, of course. Let's see if we can load this project back up and continue with the work in here. Any questions while we are having this, loading issue right now?
I typed a little something in the chat, but the settings that you have in the browser version, are they the same ones that you have on your desktop version?
Great question. So it is only because of the fact that I've made them in there. It's just like you would have, say, at the beginning when you have your computer and you have your brand new computer next to you, you have to sort of copy and paste or save the JSON file and load it on the other computer for Visual Studio Code. In this one, I've preset it up. And so therefore, that's a little bit different in the case that, I've already set it up, but it isn't that it was instantly, unlike Visual Studio that will do that between two cases. This one does require you to sort of set it up. I just happen to have already set it up. So if this was my full-time computer, my work one, if they've decided to utilize this software, then all of a sudden, instantly, I would be able to go home, have nothing installed, even have a low-end computer, and be able to go ahead and do that and start instantly working with that. But our issue was more. It was I needed help from you guys as far as code. So I clicked on that live share, and it went away. All right. Let's see if we can do that one more time. I was speaking and not waiting enough. Let's see. Do I have a link in there? Nope. Let me do that one more time. Bear with me, guys. Oh, our link comes in there. Now, again, earlier today, we were having problems with this. I use this every single day, and we used this with Jeremy over a month ago. So this has nothing to do with the software or whether it's ready or not. Something's going on with my computer, and it's been behaving perfectly fine. And for some bizarre reason, at this moment, it does not want to work with us. But this is something
because you're presenting.
It is because I'm presenting. It understands that. By the way, I think it's Zoom because it seems to be taking up like 80% of my CPU. I don't have that bad of a computer, but it seems to be taking up a lot of my stuff. But I'm going to try to see if we can get that working as well. I will try to do it off camera here, only because of the fact that I can do two windows over here at the same time. So I'm still trying to open this up. So again, each time a computer, well, not each time, but this is sort of a settings right now, but our physical computer is out there on the Azure, Virginia servers, and they are running Visual Studio. So let me prove that by going Control tilde, and I have now a terminal. So I have a terminal, and this is all my software. And I can nodemon or I can apt npm install g nodemon. I can install a project and all that. Well, I don't have an npm, but Node, for example, is not installed. So I have a full working computer, and what I've done here, for example, you'll notice that we came in here and I had the Node modules installed. I had some settings installed. I had installed nodemon, but now it's installed. So nodemon, by the way, helps me sort of run a version of the server of the Node.js server, and then whenever any changes, it will live load the information. So I'm going to click one more time, and I'm going to quickly copy the URL because it looks like it's going out fast. Here's the copy. I'm going to copy it again. Okay, and we're going to see if we can see more information about this. I'm going to then. That looks like it is live. I'm going to grab the chat functionality. If you guys can all follow me on chat. And there is a long link that starts with prod.liveshare. And if you guys, and it looks like this on the screen. So if you guys do me a favor and click on that link, I will try it myself here, but you can do it on yours. And here's what I really want you guys to try. Don't open it in your Visual Studio if you have it. If you already did, don't worry about it. You'll get the sense of what's going on here. But one of the options at the very bottom will be open in your browser. And that means you're going to get all the benefits. And it looks like it did it on my case. But try it on yours as well. See if you can do that. There should be an option. I don't know, guys, why it's not showing on my end. Perhaps it's because I'm already set up. But on yours, you should have. Can anybody try it and see if they're experienced? Do they have an option to open Visual Studio? We do have one person. We have a collaborator. David is already collaborating. Thank you, David. I'm going to go to the files here. You guys can go ahead and please follow me along. Even if you're not going to contribute, even if you don't want to edit this file, just follow along and see what I'm doing here. Because the impressive part is when you see it happening on your end. And yes, I do mean that. Thank you, Craig, for joining us.
I can see it.
Perfect. And here's the best part of it. I don't know if you guys see the file being open here.
I can.
Contributors. Did it open on your computer?
It's open and I can see you're writing contributor, but when you type, it has a little tag that says Damien.
Damien. Now I want you to type.
Okay.
Can you add yourself to the contributors in there? Craig, can you do the same? And anybody that's joined us can do the same here. And as you can see, my cursor is different than Dave's. And this is key because I can see Dave typed. I'm not typing anything.
That was me typing.
I'm going to ask Tim to accept. Perfect. Tim, go ahead and type with us. And thank you, Larry, for joining us. And what you guys should really, really try, if you've done it and you've said yes to Visual Studio, try the link again. And this time, again, if you guys didn't hear it, just sort of the bottom of this window, just where my mouse is jumping around here, my mouse is hovering, do the same with yours, and you should see the option for chat. In there, the last thing that, yes, thank you. If there is a problem with a URL, thank you, Dave. I will correct that last problem. There you go. There's a new link. We have Leonid, pardon me. And please contribute. Add to what your name under contributors. Try editing the files, and then the next thing you can do, you can see your code typing on this one. Thank you, Enrique. Nice. And what you guys can also see, the best part of this is that you guys will be able to see that you can open your own files. So go ahead and open the index.html. You'll notice that when you double click on it on the index.html, go ahead and please do it. You'll notice you can open it, but it doesn't open on my computer. And I can continue working on this. So as Tom is typing over here, I'll start typing over here at the exact same time. There's no need to wait. And each and every single time, I'm seeing the changes happening on this end. And this is the best part of all. Let's see if we can do this, get this a little bit working here. I'm going to go ahead and debug here. Thank you, Bob. I don't know why sometimes it asks me and then sometimes it does. I guess some of you guys, I do apologize. I meant to tell you guys, you have been asked to log in when you clicked on the link. And some of you guys have, oh, love the emoji. Some of you guys have said that you prefer to be anonymous. And I think that's where I had to accept you guys. So this month, I don't even know how many people are on. Let's see, there's 8 of us all editing the file at the same time.
Also, I'm on full Visual Studio. I'm not on Code.
Yes, exactly. So some of us, I happen to be on the one paid server, and I pay for this, about $58 a month. Again, that's if I use it full time, all the time, it will cost me $58 a month. If I barely use it, and I do, it's been cents. So, thank you. Yes, Larry, thank you very much. So some of us were on a free server, completely free. It did not ask you to log in, and it did not require you, and it's not charging you. And you are now sharing my code. That means that when I send you that link over TikTok, you answered it on your grandmother's page without anything installed, and you had it live. And you're helping me. In fact, since 7 of us are still on, looks like one of us dropped. I'm going to click on debug, and I'm going to launch it. Now, at this moment, just bear with me here, is you're welcome to edit it, but we should actually see it catch the debug points, and it did. And more importantly, correct me if I'm wrong, did it do it on yours as well? And can you all follow me and just hover your number, your cursor over the port as I did on my Visual Studio? Yes. Highlight it and see what it is. Highlight over the port over here. Highlight over this one. You can now help me debug. I can be looking at something and then you can tell me, oh, Damien, it's because the port is 5,000. I'm like, oh, I forgot. Right. Sorry about that. And I can do different things. Thank you, Andre, for joining us. And so this truly, I think, changes everything, because we've had sessions where I needed help on my work, and I trust you. I trust you very, very much, but I cannot give you the Git repo to this. And I can't give you a copy on a thumb drive. And I can't have you install it after you've helped me debug it. But I trust you enough to open it, help me debug it, look at the code. I mean, if you could take a screenshot, maybe you're not the friend that I wanted, but you get the right idea. And you've helped me debug the problem, and you've had nothing on my computer. And you didn't have to tell me over Zoom to click on this, on the other. And I was on this file while you were on the other file. And we were both looking at it. And there's a way, and you'll have to excuse me, I didn't get this on time, that you should see it perhaps, David, you do. And it should have started on your own server.
Yeah, I see it's in run mode. I'm trying to see where the window is.
Can you open up your localhost, David, and open up to port, I think it was 5,000 on your localhost? Maybe it's a different port.
JS Viewer 44326.
Are you going to localhost, http://localhost 5,000?
Yeah, localhost. Let me try 5,000.
Okay. So here's the beauty
of it. It's 50,000, right?
No, it's 5,000.
Okay.
There is a debug endpoint here, but that's something else. That's where you would connect if you wanted to debug something specific, because we're doing WebSockets here. That's what's specific. Michelle, my apologies. I did project, guys, was going to be, you can utilize this, and I'll perhaps create it on GitHub and sort of send it to the group, where we were going to have what's essentially you've seen whenever you've tried to log in. And I don't know if you guys, but I tried to call my mobile provider. Forget it. I can't get through after an hour and a half phone call. So I went to their chat program, and they were able to chat. And it's easy utilizing this repo that I have included to see what's going on in there. Now, it's 100% where everybody is working on it. In fact, it is right now stopped. And because of NodeMon, it started again. But can someone do me a favor? Can someone change that to port 5001? Who's going to be the first to do it? Dave's going to be first to do it. Dave, can you press on the play? I don't know if this works by there. We're going to live code it here.
It says,
can you press on the play over here?
Current document.
And then over here, you might say Node at the very top, Node.js.
It might not work. Document or launch, yeah.
Okay, it might not work. It might have just copied the code to your thing, and it might be running.
Sure, it doesn't allow starting the debugger. If needed, ask them to enable it.
Okay. Well, one of the things we may have just found was that perhaps, and this is just perhaps, most likely not. Sorry, coronavirus. Dave may have had Node not installed or something not installed that I need. And if he had done the repo, if he had grabbed the repo and downloaded it, he might have forgotten to npm start or to have that connection to database. And I have that connection to database. And instantly, we all debugging. We're all helping each other. There's 10 of us at this moment, 9 of us right now, all debugging at the exact same time. I don't know about you guys, but I'm just simply impressed.
Yeah.
So to wrap it up, this has been longer. Thank you, Larry, for joining us again. This has been. You're welcome to do whatever you want with this. You can get the repo. You can find out the files. You'll notice that you didn't have to wait for me to open the files. You know what I mean? You could have edited something. We could have seen what's going on in here. Perhaps I can cheat a little bit and check on debug. And I see already we have some people making some changes, and I really like that. We debugged it. I could have been behind a firewall. I could have been hitting the database that we can all have access to. But because I trust you guys, and I trust you guys with my life here, I was able to do that. But here's the trick, by the way. I didn't trust you guys, or else I would have done it on my local computer. I did it on my online computer, and I can erase it at any time. So that's the biggest thing that we get over here. We get everybody. Thank you. Oh, yes, I love that. I love that. Thank you, guys. I love that you give me those information about exactly what's going on here. As you can see, this works on your Mac. This works on your PC. This works if you are if you don't have anything installed. This works if you have Visual Studio Code like Larry has. This works if you have Visual Studio 2019 or 2017 with the extension installed. On Visual Studio 2019 on the Mac, it actually also works. 2020, I think it's on the Mac. Or 2018, pardon. Whatever it's called on the Mac, it also works on the Mac. And for every one of you guys that was on Opera or a Mac or a computer that didn't want to install Visual Studio, instantly you were able to contribute this, and I thank you for that. We were able to do that instantly. I was able to set up this without even touching my Visual Studio. My Visual Studio is down here. It's never been on this computer. And guys, that's about it. Guys, girls, ladies, and others.
That's great.
What do you think?
Very cool.
That's it.
I was telling Damien at some point in the past, Jeff Fritz did a Twitch with about 20 of us all jumping in and doing different parts of the program live.
Nice.
With live share.
I love that concept. I think it's fantastic. Thank you, Bob. I love that you could do this. I think it just I want to incorporate it perhaps after this presentation. I could do, like we talked about earlier, where we could all work on the same project together, where it's live, where you guys can see what's going on in here. Dave?
Socially distanced pair programming.
That's right. That's right. I called it mob programming because there's a bunch of you guys, and pair programming would be the right word, even though it's multiple pair programming and all that. So.
Hey, Damien, I have a question. I mean, I'm not able to access the server on port 5001. Any idea what that could be?
Absolutely. It's a great question. I don't remember what it is, but there's supposed to be a way that you can access it. And you'll have to excuse me. I don't know what the exact port is, but there's a way that I believe I can start it in a way that you guys can all see it. And you'll see the exact version. And
to like expose something out there.
Exactly. So there is something up there. I'll look it up. I couldn't find it on time. And more importantly than anything, there's a way, and it could have been because of the fact that I'm running it on. It shouldn't have been online. So again, I'm on a website, right? And so there's also a way on this kind of website that you can access it, because at this moment we can't even see the website, and it's up there. It's up there somewhere. But I will find out more. And Rika, I think it's a great question, and it is one that I wish I could answer. And the answer is out there. It's just something goofy. I'm sure it's something silly in that Twitch or in some recording computers.
Yeah.
But that it was running the website,
No,
and you could
I
see
remember.
it.
No.
There is a way to do it. I mean, worst case scenario, we could share a screen, right? And then I could run it, or I could be the one that's testing it, and everybody kind of debugs it on the right point, and you kind of hear me, or we do this sort of screen share where you could do that. But the beauty, of course, is that you guys could all be down here. Or more specifically, if you wish, you'll notice that someone do me a favor and do a bunch of these up there with the contributors. And you'll notice that even though I'm down here doing that it doesn't matter. I'm down here doing this, and you have all. And when you save, I'm seeing a refresh happen here on my NodeMon, my live reshare, similar to .NET Watch or other options. But up here, if you had been editing something, it would have been there. It would have been edited. If you guys have been changing here, and I believe you have been changing some things in here in the HTML, it would have changed it. I could be here, and you could have been a different file, and we could have all been changed. And that means we truly can be debugging, because there are parts where you're like, okay, tell you what, I don't feel comfortable back end. I'll do the front end. And you can work on that. And we can work on that together through distances. Or even if we're next to each other, it's much better. And I don't have to shove you away from the keyboard, and you don't have to shove me away from the keyboard, and see exactly what's going on there.
Hey, Damien, can you, I'm not sure where it is, but you can show the participants. And you can see
let's see if I can do that.
You can see what file each person's working in.
Fantastic. I love that. Thank you, David. So that's all of us right here. That's all what we're doing. Thank you for showing that. I can see exactly what the files are. I clicked on the persons over here, the participants that were following the cursors, and we could see exactly what we were doing on each one of them. So let's go ahead and check, and then we could see exactly perfect what Larry's there. If you don't mind Larry me using an example, and that's just something that's amazing. I mean, that's my wife reminded me. She's another developer as well. She's just too advanced for this meetup. But she will remind me. It's like, what if other people are changing files you don't want to change? Well, that's what Git's for, right? Here I can see all the different files that have been changed. So there's something in here that was like, wait a minute, I didn't change that, and I don't want to change. You can also simply undo it. Discard the changes, and we're back to what it was before. Oh, I asked you guys not to change the HTML only one. Boom, discard. All the changes are gone. So this is truly something that you should be doing for not just like what we're doing here, where it's open to the whole world, but it should be something you're able to do it. Can you? I'm going to stop it right here, this one, by pressing Control-C. Can you guys see what I'm doing here? Can you guys also see the directories that we have listed here? You won't be able to do it, David, because you're on Visual Studio. You need the code, but
yeah, we can see it. We can see everything exactly as you see it.
Perfect. That's wonderful. So it's perfect. And Enrique, can you do this npm start?
I cannot type anything. As you can see, if you look at the VS Code, the live share extension icon on the left, if you click, you'll see that the terminal is actually shared as a read-only terminal.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for that. In here? No, it has to be in here.
So on the left side, on the bar on the left there, the little arrow with the little dot below it.
Yes.
Higher up to the left, just below the Git icon.
Yes.
Vertical column. Yeah.
Okay. I don't know where it is, Enrique, but I'm hearing you. It's coming
you
on
had
the
it
option.
right there. Scroll down a little bit. Scroll down. You will see shared terminal says read only.
Perfect.
I'm not sure if you can give permissions here, but
let's try that. I'm going to click on here, and I'm going to click on share terminal, and I'm going to be clicking read write. And now, can you guys do something? I may have screwed myself, but let's see what you guys can do. Can you guys look into the terminal? Wonderful. And I can see you type. That's amazing. Okay, well, that's okay. That blows my mind. Thank you. I don't see anybody's. Oh, no. We're going to find out which version it is. Interesting. Thank you. We have some Linux. Hi. There we go.
That was me. So I can bring up the terminal.
You can?
I can, but it's a separate window.
But do you have the extension on Visual Studio installed that you can do the terminal or?
Yeah.
Fantastic. Wonderful. Wonderful. I personally like that we're sharing the terminal so I can see what's going on in there. It's very, very useful for sharing. I think I guess I have a different one where it's my own here. And then this is the shared one that I can see what's going on with everybody else. Wonderful. There's a little bit of worry. And I think that's one of the things I saw, Dave, like you, when Microsoft presented this, I thought there was a little worry about, like, I do definitely want to share my code. And I don't care if you script the code because that's what Git's for. But I don't necessarily want you to do one of those, sudo and delete my whole directory in here. And if you do it on the vol line, okay, I can delete the project and start again from scratch. A little bit harder on my laptop or my desktop. So that's the only thing I would worry about. And I think that with Enrique's help and your help, we figured out what it is that truly you can do, truly what you cannot do. I'm pretty sure there is still an option here. Let me go ahead and click on that. And I'm going to switch it to shared. And perhaps now this one has gone away. And eventually. And can you guys now start typing? See if you have that as an option. I think I have to get rid of this, I guess. Nice. Wonderful. So there you go. There was a chance to type and not type. It looks like someone was trying to access request permissions. Perfect. I can give Thomas alone, that option and nobody else. And then over here, it was the option one more time where I can, thank you. And then one more time. Oh, nice. Now I can't do it. Oh, my. Oh. I think I closed out everybody. My apologies. What do you guys think? Are you guys going to use it? Did I blow your mind? Is it easy peasy?
It's very cool.
I'll definitely be using it.
Thank you, guys. All right.
As a PHP developer, primarily.
Yes.
But mostly full stack. I spend most of my time in PHP Storm, but PHP Storm doesn't have anything like this. So occasionally, I'll open up Visual Studio Code, and I've used LiveShare before within Visual Studio Code. And just the first time I did it, I felt like a kid on Christmas. It was just so awesome to be able to work with somebody else live across the country. And now you can even do it in a browser, which is just insane, but it's so amazing.
Thank you, Larry. I agree with you 100%. It is truly magnificent, and that you can do all these type of things all at once. It's just nuts and all that. So, and you're right. It is so easy. I was helped by Jeremy, and I had a question, and it was so wonderful to be able to say, Jeremy, help me out. And it's like, I don't have that installed. I don't have access to your computer. And I'm like, let me give you access to my computer, and he cannot come over, and yet he is able to instantly be able to do it. Someone put this link up on the chat. I apologize. I copied it and pasted it a little bit too quickly to find out who it is. Who put it up there? Enrique.
Oh, is there something? Yeah, this is if you scroll down a little bit, way down, it talks about how you can expose the online environment. It's not for now, but just for your reference, I think that's where you would find it, where you can actually expose the server so we can see the app run.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Excellent. So you guys will look this up, and then again, you can see this docs.microsoft.com/en-us-visual studio/online/how-to/browser. And you'll see this on the video. If you guys see, again, youtube.com, just video.js. BocaJS, pardon me.
Cool.
Wonderful. Now it's time for tickets. I don't have any sponsors today, but we do have one sponsor. Larry's favorite. PHP Store. Larry, did you win one of the licenses?
I'm sorry?
Can you guys go to win.bocajs.org for me? Just win.bocajs.org. Ignore what you see there in the URL. Just this website right there, nothing. Win.bocajs.org. I will do so as well on my phone, not so I can have a ticket, but so I can choose a winner. Win.bocajs.org uses the technology we were going to be using here, which is one called WebSockets to be able to choose a winner. And it is something we were going to use with the chat. We can do that another time. First, I wanted to see really if this made sense, if there was a lot of information. Wow, 1, 2, 3, 4.
There's only 15 people on the Zoom.
I like it. I like it. You guys
but
have
there's
figured
23,
out
there's
the
24.
tricks.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
There's
so
some,
this will have to be
there's some balance stuffing going here.
No problem at all. I have no problems with that.
I want to win that WebStorm.
Yes, I liked it. So what you guys okay, so that's big enough. So I'm gonna just now flip. I'm gonna turn this sharing off. I'm going to go ahead and make sure everybody can see me. Pin this video, spotlight this video. Did that make it big for you guys or just me?
No, I got the array of people now.
Right. But it wasn't okay. Let's see this.
Yeah. Now you're pinned.
You guys see me? All right. You guys ready? On your phone. No, hide the URL up here. On your phone, you will not see the button to pick a winner, but I will. And you will see it instantly choose a number. Yay! On your phones, did it do that? Who's number 24? Who's number 31 through 24?
Me.
There you go.
Do it again. Do it again.
Wonderful. Do it one more time. I'm going to hide the URL. 26. That's probably still you, right?
Yeah, do it again. Sorry.
Oh, my God.
That's not me.
I got it.
All right. Enrique, did you get it?
I got it, but I've already won once.
You don't need
again. I only had one.
Fair enough. Fair enough. You won 100%.
But I won it before.
Once this is over, extrovert goes crazy. When some of you introverts are like, "Yeah, I'm stuck at home," I will buy each one of you guys 2 beers when you go to the next meetup that it's happening local and all that, and I'll buy that gentleman 3. All right. By the way, if you win this, if you win, there is no. Sorry. Let's go. Let's pretend we're all together. Whoa. If you win, you don't need to come back. Look, see, I'm still at the meetup. If you win, you don't need to win again because the fact that this is a free license for a year, and you're like, yeah, Damien, but what about next year? It's like, no. Free unlimited upgrades until a year from now. Afterwards, you can continue using it. So, Enrique, your version, you can continue using it. So, Enrique, your question is, do you want to give it away to somebody else?
I'll give it away. I think mine's still valid until next month for updates, so I'm good.
You should have taken it this. All
right. Yeah.
No, it's fine. VS Code for the win anyways.
All right. Hiding the URL. 4. Did somebody's phone change to 4?
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes,
yeah,
sir.
This is Rob. I have 4.
You have 4 of them.
All right.
You have 4 or you have 4 of them?
I am number 4 on my iPad.
Robert, how many times did you gave it away there? How many times did you win already? Did you win already?
Never. Well, nothing.
There's no way. You come to all these meetups. There's no way you've never won before. You never won before?
I have not won anything in the past couple of years, no.
All right, Robert wins.
What is
Robert
the
wins?
prize?
Robert wins all the hackathons. Robert wins all the things. I mean,
my 4 is now red. Does that mean I won? It's red.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that's it.
My friend.
Yes, you won.
So I'm going to let's go back to pin, and I'm going to on cancel spotlight. Now you can see everybody. Oh. So, okay, perfect. So, a license to any software from the WebStorm people, JetBrains.
JetBrains.
Any software.
Oh, cool. So they have mobile.
Including for some software that they have that are great. That's for like Android developers. Robert, do you know any Android developers?
Well, myself and Andreas and you.
Okay. Perfect. So thank you very much, Robert. Thank you. And see you guys next time. But do reach out to me if you have any questions or if you want to present. And that's it. Anybody else want to talk? It's all yours.
Thanks a lot. I appreciate it. This, yeah, we can clap now. Yeah. Good job, Damien.
Thank you.
See y'all
Michaela,
later.
I promise you, next time we will do the project. But with this, you'll be able to get a lot of help, and you'll be able to do things instantly from any computer. And trust me.
The question is, we've been using this at school, so.
Oh, you're kidding me.
We've been doing it remotely.
Why did I present it? You could have presented this.
No, because mine is still saying joining collaboration session, and I'm not joined.
Oh, okay.
I got to join. So I don't know what happened with mine, but I know how it works because we've been using it.
Excellent. No. Tell me, how did you use it at school? Was it like because you guys were virtual or something?
Gosh, it's been a while though. Last time we used it, but I think it was something problem with my VS Code because actually on the bottom it was telling me like you have to join manually because blah blah something. You have something is disabled to join automatically join manually, and it was not showing me where to. But similar to what you just did.
Yes.
Definitely.
But I'm fascinated. Tell me, what is it? How were you using it? I'm interested in this part. How were you using it at school? Did you say you were using it at school?
Yeah, it was the code along with the instructor. So he was showing us. Showing us. Gosh, what was it? Don't even remember actually.
And then you could open up. You could scroll down when he's up to the top, and you could.
And he was like, so we would kind of like it would be happening on our screen, right? And we would just be like coding our stuff along.
I love that. It to me makes a tremendous amount. I've been helped by Jeremy and a bunch of the different people with this technology. I can see it very much with students. Even if you're all in the same room, you can see what I'm doing. You can follow along.
Yeah, exactly. You don't have to keep looking up. Because we used to have it on projector, but then you could get a typo and you
appreciate this. There's a great insight to this. Do you remember what I saw where you could run it a copy on not a copy, like run it locally? Like when he pressed play, you would see it as well. Yeah. Okay. See, the rest of it doing that. Sorry, guys, I couldn't get it. I couldn't get it working. But as you now have to show us
on your screen, and you can either like jump into it, or you have the read only where you can.
Right.
Yeah. Depends.
Perfect. But exactly. So there is a way that I could press F5 where I'm running it, I'm debugging. Of course, you guys all saw that you were debugging with me, but I know there's a way, and Enrique, I'll read the article because that's probably the way where I can see the website and we can all sort of see the website, interact with it, where I'm choosing something perhaps about that part of the page a little bit better. You start clicking on it. You start filling out the form as I look away at some other code or I look at a debug and debug it with you. And this is just magic. Just like Larry says, it's a Christmas time. Just like you showed us very well, Michaela. It's perfect and it's so useful for that. By the way, did I pronounce your name right, Michaela?
Michaela, how do you pronounce your name? Michaela, both times.
Michela? Okay.
Yes, either
perfect.
Or.
Wonderful. You can call me Damien, Damian, David, Dave. That works. So thank you, guys. Thank you very much. See you next month. Thank you for this conversation. Thank you for being here. That's it.
Thank you for having me, guys.
Bye.
Bye. See you next time.
Thanks, David. Thanks, everybody.
Bye, everybody.